If there's one thing that this movie taught me, it's that Ariana Grande and Donald Glover are both aliens. It makes sense to me. Men in Black International was directed by F. Gary Gray and stars Tessa Thompson, Chris Hemsworth, and Liam Neeson, and is the fourth entry in the Men in Black series, and follows the story of Agent M, who as a young girl had an encounter with an alien. She was not neuralized, and so she spends her entire life trying to find the Men in Black in hopes to join them. And one day she does, and is sent to London to tag around with one of the best agents in the field, Agent H. And so they go on a journey to hunt down the Hive, who is an old threat. Now, oftentimes when I see a movie, I do side with the critics for the most part. However, that is not the case with this movie. I'm really surprised that this movie is getting as trashed as it is. It has a 20-something% on Rotten Tomatoes with an average score of around a 4, and I just don't understand it, but maybe as we talk about it, maybe I will understand it a little bit more. Guys, I really had a blast with this film. In fact, I really enjoyed it. What we have here is just a really fun ride that is both entertaining and funny at the same time, and I think a lot of that goes to the two lead actors in this movie, Tessa Thompson and Chris Hemsworth. Their chemistry, well, you guys have seen Thor Ragnarok, and they were both in that film together, and they were great with that film, and their chemistry was just so perfect on screen, and we see that again here. They just work very well together, and you can tell that they're very comfortable working together, and they have just some of the best chemistry on screen, and it's really a delight to see. They are so fun, just sharing quips with each other on screen, and it's just a great screen presence, and they work together very well. Tessa Thompson does a really good job in this film, playing basically the new girl into this new world. She doesn't completely understand it yet, but along the way she finally figures it out, and she's just really awesome in the film. And so is Chris Hemsworth, who has shown in the past that he is a very comedic actor and has some comedic chops about him that really helps with this film. He is very funny in this film, and that's a thing that I really liked in this film. Was it was incredibly funny. I laughed throughout the entire movie, especially towards a certain alien character named Pawn, or Pawnee. He is really funny in this film and had me just dying laughing. I had a blast while watching it. Also, I thought the action scenes were just a lot of fun. If there's one thing I could say about this movie as a negative, it might be the fact that it is kind of just generic and nothing completely new. And I think that's what the critics are really focusing on. I really haven't checked any reviews for this movie. I've just looked at a bunch of scores, but I think a lot of people we're probably going to think that this film doesn't really do anything new with the Men in Black mythos, with the story, with the characters, and it's just another Men in Black film, which I don't really see as a bad thing. I think it can be perfectly fine, and it's perfectly fine and serviceable in this movie. I just was looking for a really fun movie, and that's what I got here. It's a blast, guys, with great comedy, great funny characters and performances. And if there's other stuff that I could say that is maybe a little bit of a problem with me, it would be that the main villains of this movie are rather weak. In fact, they are kind of terrible, one-dimensional. You don't really understand them. They don't even really have lines in the movie. And so you're just left with villains that are just walking about and you don't care about them. You don't really care about the threat. It's definitely the characters that are going on this journey that you really do care about. And it's sad that the villains are just not up to par with the rest of the movie. Whereas in the past, they have had some pretty memorable villains in the Men in Black movies, but this one just, the villains just aren't that memorable. Also, I will say that around near the third act of the movie, in the second act, there is kind of a 10-minute detour scene dealing with Agent H's character and his romance life, his romantic life. And although it's just perfectly fine and it has a really fun scene, it does feel very much like a detour and really something that I think could have been trimmed down, cut completely, and adding something more with these villains to kind of develop them, because we end up having a completely different side villain that really doesn't add anything to the movie except to kind of give Agent H some backstory, which it doesn't work very well. Also in that sequence, there's a big moment of coincidence, which even I just kind of rolled my eyes at with how ridiculous it was. Those who watch the movie will understand, even though it's kind of sweet, it just doesn't really work. However, that's really all my main gripes with this film, guys. I had a blast while watching this, and I'm really shocked that it's getting such low scores from critics, and I'm really, really interested in reading reviews and seeing what exactly they're thinking that I'm not seeing, but maybe I'll figure that out. But guys, this was really just a fun time at the theater. I laughed. I just really enjoyed myself. I liked these characters. I liked these performances. And I just had a great time at the movie theater. And you can't fault the movie for doing something that it should do. I'm gonna give Men in Black International a 7 out of 10. Well, guys, I want to thank you for watching this review. Have you seen Men in Black International? I say check it out, see what you think for yourself, and come back here and tell me your thoughts on the film. But anyway, guys, that's really all I've got for you. I've got other reviews coming soon, a couple reviews that have just been released that maybe you guys would be interested in, such as my classic review on Joan of Arc, and also my catch-up video that I did recently. There's plenty of videos to watch, but anyway, guys, that's really all I've got to say. So as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next review.